Hello everyone, this is Foreboding Angel. In this video I'm going to go over unit selections and basic unit groups. So basically, to start out, unless you have issued a pending command, which we haven't here, so left clicking a unit will clear our current selection. So let's say if we have a bunch of units selected, just selecting one unit will clear our selection and just select the unit that we clicked on. Anyway, okay, so basically this video is for people who don't really know how to use RTS interfaces. So if you do, you can probably skip this, but there will be some cool info. Now, as far as selections go, you can draw a box and select units. It is worth noting that if you draw a box around units that have weapons and some don't, only the units with weapons will be selected. You see this? Like, just around the factory gets selected. But if we go around these units with weapons, they get selected too. Or they get selected instead, I should say. Another thing is, if a unit is in a group, let's make a bunch of these. If a unit is in a group, you can double click it and it'll select everything in the group that is visible on your screen. So okay, these guys, there's two of them. If I double click them, it'll select all of them. Now if they're not in a unit group, if you double click them, it will select automatically all units of that type. So basically all units identical to that one that are visible on your screen. Now if you want to select all units of that type everywhere on the map, Control Z. So if I were to spawn a bunch of these guys over here, let's put one over here, that'll work. And you can kind of notice on the mini-map here, you'll notice they're not selected. So if I double click these, it selects all the units of that type. If I press Control Z, it selects all of these guys over here too. Okay, now let's say we want to select all units that we own. Control A, that will select everything. Let's see. Basically, when you have your mouse hovered over a unit, a tooltip will display. If you have a bunch of units selected, in the box down here, in the selections box, it'll give you data on all of them. So for example, we have 13 units selected. The combined health of all of them is 2,780, the combined cost, and basically what they're doing. Like for example, if it's a bunch of builders and how fast they're building and stuff like that. Okay, so let's do unit groups. Okay, so basically the way that you assign unit groups is you use Control 1 through 0. I suggest not using Control 1 because the Overseer is automatically bound to 1. That means that no matter where you are on the map, you can press 1 twice and it will center your view on the Overseer. And that's the same for all unit groups. So those are 6. Now, okay, you might not want to have to deal with assigning unit groups all the time to various units, because I mean, if every game, let's say you want to have your army, like all your army units from this factory on 2. Okay, so let's get some supply building here so we can actually make a few things. Anyway, okay, so let's build one of everything except for that one. Okay, now we have all these guys. Notice all these guys are automatically coming out and they're on the control group too. That's because I've already done what I'm about to show you. So when you have a unit selected, you can press Alt and 1 through 0 and it will automatically assign any new unit that gets built to that control group. So for these kites, let's see, I'm going to assign one to control group 4. Okay, so it takes all of them and it puts them on control group 4. Now, any new ones that get built, whoops, boom, they're all on 4. See how cool that is? So you can do all kinds of pre-designation on that. So, for example, I just put this engineer on 5, so any engineers that I put out here are going to come out as control group 5. So that way it allows me to double click them and select them easily. And there you go. So basically it allows you to very easily control your units and their groupings. And this can be really key for when you're having to deal with a lot of units all over the map. Now, you can randomly select pieces of these and assign them to a different group, so that when you press 2, all the new ones are still getting added to your main army, but you still have this little offshoot over here that you can do whatever you want with. Now, when you use control, when you have automatic groupings, just because you assign them to a different, like if I assign those to 4, that doesn't mean that new units coming out are going to be assigned to 4. They'll still be assigned to 2, because Alt and the number is what our presets are. See? Added kite to auto group 2. So, it doesn't matter if we set those to control 4 once again. If we build some more of them, yep, they're coming out on 2. And so basically that's kind of how unit groups work. Now it is important to note that units can only be in one group at a time. So assigning a new group number to a unit will remove it from its current group. Assigning a unit to a group overrides normal double-clicking behavior. If you double-click a member of a group, all units of the same group will be selected on your screen. So, let's see. Yeah. Okay, and that pretty much covers selections and unit groupings.